Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Julie, and on this channel, we talk about becoming the best version of ourselves. And part of that journey is really about self awareness. What do I know about myself? And what do I still need to learn? As well as how can I take those steps every day to bring me closer to the person I want to be? So, today we're going to talk about what happens when we don't do our best. What happens when we have an emotional blip or something goes wrong and we really struggle to do the things that we think we should. So, that happened to me recently, and the things that I did, first of all, to identify what the challenges were or what was happening so I could understand my own reasons why I was falling into this emotional blip, but also what were the things that I did to sort of ride out the wave. Because one of the things that I've realized over time is that emotional blips always happen. It doesn't matter how much, journaling or self development we do, it can just get on top of us. And usually it's associated with being sick. For myself, I definitely realized that when I was sick, I wasn't exercising as much. When I wasn't exercising as well, my sleep starts to get worse. And so these sorts of things build up. And I realized through my journaling activities that I wasn't doing very well. And this is because I do what I've called interstitial journaling, and I've shared with you in the past what that is. But it's really just capturing in the moment as I go from one activity to the next what I'm doing, how it's going, and anything that distracts me. I also write down how it makes me feel. And what I realized was that for several days in a row, even when I was doing activities that I generally quite enjoyed, whether it was writing or delivering webinars, was that I was writing things like, you know, didn't get into it, got distracted, faffed about, and did nothing, and just didn't enjoy myself. And so these were all alarm bells. They were all the things that I do on a regular basis that I've put in place to give me an early warning to say, hello, something's going wrong here. We might need to be on be on alert for this type of emotional blip. So, what I did was I realized I was getting into it through the journaling and the activities that I do. And so then I sort of pulled back how much I do. And I said, okay, what is my bare minimum? What is the absolute one thing I have to do every day? And obviously, that's to get out of bed, just to get up. And because I wasn't in a full blown emotional crisis, it was just a dip. And so what I did was I just got up every day and did my best. I reduced the amount of load that I put on myself, and I just presented in front of my writing groups, in front of my work groups, doing the best that I could. And sometimes, even though it's not perfect, it is enough. Now, the other thing that I did was that I acknowledged to myself, but I also acknowledged to other people that I really wasn't doing very well, that I was struggling, that I was finding in the moment it was quite a challenge. And what happened was that people reached out, people supported me, people just gave me the space to not be perfect. Now, the other thing that I did is I really just kept plodding along. And so it allowed me in the moment to keep writing, to keep working, to keep connecting. And that's really what it's all about. Sometimes it's about just keeping on going long enough that things start to improve. Now, my challenges definitely started because I'd got sick, and I was sick for quite some time. And obviously, when I'm sick, I don't exercise, and that has knock on effects. And so I knew that as I got healthier, as my health just improved, my mental health would improve as well. And so I just had to keep going so that I didn't end up in a deeper hole. And I think one of the biggest challenges when we aren't doing so great is isolation versus connection. And what happens is, or at least what I find I do, is that I tend to shut down. I withdraw from groups, I withdraw from people, I avoid activities because I'm not going to be able to be at my best. But what that means is that instead of reaching out and getting that connection, human beings all need connection. We need to sort of be connected with people to listen and to talk and to bounce ideas off and just to listen to us. And so instead of locking myself away, I pushed myself out there to continue to reach out to people and to be honest about how I was feeling. And what happened is that a lot of good things came out of that. One of my writing buddies, we now send each other an email at the end of each of our days so that we can share what we've done. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a big thing or if it's a little thing, but it is highlighting some achievement through the day. And that's something that brings us all a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism, is that I've actually done something. And also to have somebody else cheer you on, to say, well done, you. And so, one of the things that I would encourage everybody when you are finding things challenging is to push yourself in the one area that I think we all struggle with, and that is to reach out to people. Now, obviously, being able to reach out to people does involve a certain level of vulnerability, of being open to the fact that we're not doing so well, and that is a scary place to be. Also, we have to trust that we're opening up to the right people. And so that's another thing that is important when we are feeling good, is that we need to build these connections and kind of get to know who might be that person I can rely on when I'm struggling and who might not be. And what I've found is that it doesn't matter how long I've known people for, how well I know them. In general, most people are open and supportive. Now, obviously, that's not going to be the case for everyone that I meet, but I find that those connections really do help. So, with that, I would love to hear from anybody else, any other suggestions, anything that works for you, because anything that I can add to my repertoire, anything that I can try out, I'm always open to, because you never know what else might work, what else might be something that can help us in these situations until you try them out. And so the more I know, the more I can support myself when I find these times of challenge. So, with that, I'd love to hear from any of you in the chat. And in the meantime, I look forward to connecting with everyone in another week's time. Thank you so much. Bye.